Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Oracle session. This one is by request on Boris Johnson. I just did a quick little check-in. I don't know anything about UK politics, people, or anything. All I know is Boris Johnson is compared to Trump as being the same, and I can't see it, except for the looks, perhaps, but definitely not in personality and sincerity. Okay, so let's see who Boris Johnson really is. So when I did a quick empathetic check-in, and this was a very interesting session for sure. So the first thing that came in is, and these aren't words that I would normally use, he loves his Willie. What I felt about Boris Johnson is that he is genuinely a happy-go-lucky, fun, sincere guy. It was a pleasure in more ways than one. I'll tell you in a second. Being in his energy or being a part, empathetically reading him, it was a real pleasure. There was just fun. He loves to be distracted. He loves distraction. I think he just likes to have fun and joke around, but it felt a little bit like distraction as well. But the biggest thing about him is the sexual energy. Unbelievable. I felt it throughout the entire reading, just coursing through him at all times. And I thought, gosh, is he a sex addict? But no, I got a no on that. It's just, he loves sex, but he also uses it as a form of reaction to particular situations. So anyway, so that was that's why his reading was more pleasurable in more ways than one. So I got that he's really a sincere, fun guy, loves his Willie, loves sex, but also uses it as an ego reaction, distraction. What is the word I'm looking for? Tool, I guess. Anyway, his name, Boris Johnson, and his initials fit. So I did ask, what is his greatest fear? And he said, and I heard, "Mommy and Daddy won't love me." Now I know nothing about him, right? So I did after the reading, I did a little Wikipedia glance over, and this makes sense to me. He did have a wonderful childhood. No, what I felt also in the reading is that he didn't have any real emotional traumas. But from what I understand, his parents weren't always there because they were off doing their own grand things. I think they were scholars or teachers, I can't remember, but they were involved in a lot of stuff, and that he was mostly cared for by nanny. I think I have that right. Anyway, but his underlying little boy thing is, I want to make Mommy and Daddy happy by doing the right thing, and pleasing them. Not that they didn't love him, but that's what he strived for, I guess, to get their attention. And they were always prodding him to do the right thing. So, okay, Mommy and Daddy won't love me. And I asked him, does he really want to be in public service? And he said solidly, it's the right thing to do. I said, well, what would you rather be doing? And he said, being on a beach with beautiful women. Well, wouldn't we all say that? Maybe with different sexes. Anyway, I think my face is turning red. I don't know what's happening. See what I mean? Just talking about Boris brings up all this Kundalini energy. Okay. Then I got this feeling when I was just kind of thinking about his whole career and childhood in his life. I got this total sense that he doesn't really know how he got where he is, right? Because he's kind of like it's like everything just falls into place. He just likes to have fun. Okay, so then I checked in and through some hexagrams just to see what is his greatest gift for public service, and then what is his greatest challenge, ego challenge. And his greatest gift I got was gene key or hexagram 48, and it's called the well. In gene key speak, it's called resourcefulness, but this is really a beautiful gene key. It means that he relates to life, and it totally fits from his heart, but mostly through all of his physical senses, which means he's real embodied, right? He functions below the chest, from the heart down. He functions that way. So this also keeps him in touch with his real sexual energy. But it means that it states in here that he has a real stable emotional life, and that he goes inwards. He senses how to do things in life. So he's more inward feminine turning than reaching to the mind. Okay. Let me see what else so he has, being so embodied and using his senses, he has sudden mind flashes and sudden realizations. Good parents, solid, emotional, stable, this is the important thing, is that he's not afraid to show his true feelings or fears, okay? So he's real sincere. What you see is what's going on. And he dives right in. When there's problems arise, he dives right into his inward journey and trusts that answers will just arise. And he's not afraid of not knowing. And that's a really important key. Okay? So that's his greatest gift. He lives through his sense body. Intuitive. He's very intuitive, and he turns inwards. So his greatest challenge was hexagram 39. In gene keys, it's called provocation. But it means that when in the hexagram, it's called meeting obstruction. And what happens when someone meets obstruction in life, meaning I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place, when he feels cornered or stuck, like I don't know which way to go, then he can be provocative. Like he loses his inward senses, and he loses the heart connection, and he kind of goes straight to the reactive, instinctual response or reaction. Let me read my notes here. So it can mean that he's violent, but I asked the sage, does he get violent? And I got a no. But his reactions are all about action, gutsy, primal, not led by the heart or necessarily by the head, but by primal urges to act. And this is where he uses sex when he feels cornered. And this feeling cornered all boils down to a fear of being trapped, of losing one's individual freedom. So this may resonate. I don't know if he has commitment issues or relationship issues. I don't know if he's been married or is married. But whether he's in a political rock and a hard place or in a relationship rock and a hard place, he doesn't like to feel trapped. And he will use sex, this primal reactive instinct, to kind of stave off that fear, that sense, I need to have my individual freedom. And when I was feeling into this, I also saw him like at work. I'm pretty sure he's had some rendezvous on his desk and in the bathroom with some people. So there you go. Anyway, he's not violent. He can be slightly a button pusher. I mean, the sage said, yeah, you can kind of say that, but I definitely got a solid yes when he's feeling stuck and trapped. That's when he kind of steps out. If he's in a relationship, he might. Anyway, you get my drift. Okay, so now some of the questions, a couple of the questions that my friend wanted to know about Boris Johnson. I hope this answers your questions. So I asked, does Boris Johnson want to be in public service? 100% yes. And then I asked, is Boris sincerely working towards the betterment of England? And it kind of said, you kind of answered that in the above question. I got a weird response with that, so I just let it go. Does Boris truly believe Brexit was the best for England? Yes, 100%. Does it appear Boris will remain the leader of the Tory party? Yes. Okay, and now this question is about Dominic Cummings. And look, I had no idea who this guy was. I don't know anything about who's who in Parliament or the British government. I don't know how you say it, British Parliament government. And I asked, is Dominic Cummings the one who makes policy? And I got makes policy decisions for Boris. And I got, well, yes, you could say that, but it's not fully accurate. And then it hit me. Oh, does he act more as an advisor telling Boris what to do? And I got, yes, ding, ding, ding. And this just shows that the accuracy, most of the time, I suspect, of doing these oracle sessions, that when I looked up who Dominic Cummings is, I had no idea that he was literally the advisor to Boris Johnson. So this just confirmed that he is what he is, and also that these sessions are pretty darn accurate. Okay. Boris and Dominic, I was kind of asking, do Boris and Dominic share similar values? Yes, you could say that. Does Boris trust Dominic? Yes. So I think Boris just trusts this guy's advice. And so it may appear that Dominic is making policy decisions, but actually Boris is in agreement. And I asked, are they good friends? Yes. You know, there was no wishy-washy answer so much with Boris here. Everything was like really solid. And I asked, is Mr. Cummings sincerely trying to do what is best? Yes. Okay. So I hope that was informative on Boris Johnson, if not a little entertaining. He is definitely not anything like Trump. I don't feel any real selfish motivations. Yeah. Decently, sincerely a good guy, likes to have fun, is trying to do the right thing. Now, whether the right thing, everybody agrees with that, you know, that's all subjective, but sincere, okay? And when he's feeling stuck, he may act out, of course, be provocative. I mean, who isn't, right? Who doesn't? Anyway, so that's Boris Johnson. He was a pleasure to read on. Okay, until next time.